Yeah, and then I'll go on X and
What's up, everybody? Rob Nakamura here with the High Chief, Zac Pauga. Together, we're fully hydrated. We'll be broadcasting on X and on YouTube. So drop your comments. We can share them together. The point is to talk together while me and Zac talk to each other and share everything that's going around in the combat sports space. We're also going to have something different this live. We're going to have our first guest as well in a few minutes. We'll get to that when the time comes. But if you've been joining us at all, you know we have a tradition. And the first thing we do is the pump and dump. So we're not going to break tradition. We're going to get right to it. Here, let's pull up the card real quick. Now, anybody on the card can get it. We're going to give love, give some admonishment. I don't get to choose whether we're pumping or dumping first. That's for Zac to do, but that's how it goes. Mr. Pauga, what are we doing?
So I'm dumping first. I'm dumping first, and it's a very specific and special is the wrong word, but it's a very specific dump for a specific reason that really only affects me and a few fighters recently, right? My dumps, Harry Hardwick.
Oh, good.
It's not for losing a fight. It's not for losing. I've lost 6 of them, right? It's not for losing a fight. It's not for getting beat up. He's also a content creator outside of being a fighter, right? Like a lot of us are trying to do, like I'm trying to do, like a lot of dudes, a lot of fighters are trying to do both at the same time. And you have to be so careful in this zone, right? In what we're doing. I try and be so careful about talking trash about other fighters. I do it, right? Maybe I'm talking trash about Harry right now. It happens. I do it. But him and his brothers, they have a YouTube channel. It's great, but it's technique focused. It's what to do, what not to do, how to fight better. And it's legitimately good stuff. But they're also young. They're also young, and it's a lot of trash talking. It's a lot of shit talking. And they're probably their most viral clip, the one that went the biggest, was talking about Anthony Smith and how he quits in all his fights and all this stuff. Ooh. And now Harry has had 2 UFC fights in a row where he's quit. Obviously smart thing for his corner throwing the towel. Intelligent, good coaches. However, you don't get to talk about Anthony Smith quitting and then quit on the stool. That's just how it goes.
No, you don't. And the fight game is unforgiving. I'm not I would like to believe in karma. In my heart, I want to believe there's this universal weight that instantly leverages good and bad things for the sake of our well-being. But I see a lot of dirty motherfuckers get away with a lot of shit. So my point
comes around eventually. It comes around eventually.
My point being is that in the fight gods realm where they rule, the fight gods have instant karma or very quick. The circle is very in life. The karma circle is big. In the fight game, the karma circle is so damn small. The revolution till it gets back to you is almost comical. And yeah, when you just go around and F around and find out and open up your mouth when it comes to fighting or what someone can do, can't do, how good they are, how not, there's not a lot of places to hide. Well, we try to pick different ones, folks. We try to pick different pumps. We try to pick different dumps. But my man, I can't because I picked this.
Good balance.
Oops, I pressed it twice. I'm not that good at it. But see, I was talking shit and the shit came right back at me. The point is, the words right at the end. How is he still standing up? The great question of the moment, because he was eating them. That is legit full blast eating them.
Broke his jaw. Broke his jaw.
Broke his jaw, which, man, we need always let's be honest, so many times in a shit talking fest or maybe in a street fight, or maybe you got beef with somebody, you're like, I'm gonna bust your fucking jaw. He actually did, which is crazy, and they didn't have any beef, but it works out that way. I just want to say, like, a couple weeks ago, I dumped on Chris Moutinho for not because of skill, just because maybe sometimes you're not that guy. I feel like Mr. Hardwick listened to our podcast and was like, guess what? I'm not that guy. Watch this. And he has now came in, and sure, the first one is on short notice. I'll give you some leeway for that. We came and got your legs kicked out from you like it was Muay Thai introduction class. Now you come over here, get your face rocked up, get your jaw split. And here we are right now. Like, here we are today, not looking good on any level. And I just feel like he's jockeying for that, like, meme position. Like, he wants to be the new meme fighter. I don't know what he's going to do, really.
Well, he's going to take some time off now. He's probably going to take a whole year off, getting his jaw broke. He's going to have to get wired shut. And like I said about him talking shit about fighters, I'm not talking shit about Harry Hardwick. He's a good fighter, but it just so happens the UFC is the best fighters in the world. Best fighters in the world, man. Like, it's not, we talk about the quality going down and all this stuff. It's not like, I mean, we're going to talk to one guy today who's on the regional scene and is amazing, but that's not most of them, right? That's not most dudes on the regional scene. And Harry was great on the regional scene, right? The jump between the regional scene and the UFC is so much, man. It's so much. And it's not, you're right that he's not that dude, and it's not hate to say that, right? Especially he's super young. He's a young dude. Like, it's not hate to say, oh, you're not a great UFC fighter. You know, a lot of people aren't.
100%. I totally get what you're saying, dude. And at this point, I want to, since we've been on for a second, folks, we encourage you, comment on X. We can bring those comments up here. Comment on YouTube, bring it up. It's a group discussion here. Me and Zach hammering away, but we want your thoughts as well as we poke around the most recent UFC card and give some love, give some criticism. But yeah, man, like, I want to pose this question to you because you actually know this comparison, and maybe you can give us some insight. When you talk about the jump, because you were undefeated, wrecking dudes through the regional scene, then got pulled up to the UFC. You were running people over in college and football, got pulled up to the NFL, and you've experienced the gap between both those levels of transitions. And I think a lot of people would compare, like, oh, the regional scene is like maybe like college, and the UFC is like the NFL in a broad comparison kind of way. How would you kind of like try to explain the gap there?
So it's a bigger gap, and I've said this before, like the problem with the UFC, that like the difficulty with MMA is that the UFC doesn't have a minor league. Like, the regional scene, the LFA, I was 5-0 fighting the LFA and Cage Warriors. I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to fight. I was bigger and stronger than people, and I would just hold them down, smash them. Like, it was like a bar fight. It was not that great. And it's like, it's less than college football, but between college and the NFL, college is high level. It's hard to be a Division I college football player. I had no combat sports background. I turned pro at 32 and just walked into the LFA and was undefeated and ran through the Ultimate Fighter. The level, and then I get into the UFC, make some mistakes, right? Cut some weight. I get a UFC win. I have a win in the UFC, but then when you get a win in the UFC, you know what you do? You got to fight other guys that are winning, right? And I start fighting guys that know actually how to fight. And I think I'm good now. I'm good now, especially like going to striking sports and only striking. I'm 20 pro fights in, and I'm just now figuring it out. I was on my 7th pro fight when I was in the UFC, and then like getting my head blasted off by Bogdan Guskov, right? He's 25 and 1 or something. So the jump in MMA is so different. If you're talking about boxing, right, or Muay Thai, these dudes have hundreds of fights. They go
Mhm.
amateur
Oh, yeah.
career, they go to Olympics, they have 40, 50 pro fights, and then they start taking real stadium championship belt fights, right? You don't get that in MMA. If you're like relatively athletic, you're going to clean up the regional scene, and then you're going to be in the UFC and finding out.
And there's, like you said, in the other sports, there's clear rungs in the ladder. It's very clear what the next realistic step is. In MMA, it's like, you're good, you're good, you're good. Okay, well then you can kind of swim. Get in the ocean, get in the deep ocean and figure it out. Now, here's a comment that I really think we should talk about before we continue on the pump and dump. Is again, right? The Hardwick fight got fight of the night. In my opinion, it belonged to Tavares and Anders. I second that. I think the Tavares and Anders fight was the fight of the night. Had the most skill, most technique. But maybe the UFC is into giving charity checks because both those brothers are paid pretty good.
So that is I've talked about this before as well. The performance bonuses, like sometimes they are valid. Sometimes they're given to the people that deserve them. A lot of times it's like a way to like take care of guys, right? Like that's taking care of Harry for taking that short notice fight and then now getting his jaw broke against this other killer. Like that's basically what that was. But I do not agree about Tavares and Anders getting it because my pump is for a fight. It's not for a one person. It's for a fight. And I got to bring up the names again. It was Force, the
I know you're going with heavyweights. You're going with the heavyweights.
Yeah, you're right. Asplin and Petrino. The message is out, and it appears because my pump was for the heavyweight before. When the message is out and it appears the heavyweights are getting the message that you got to come and show out. And I hate that what the UFC is doing is working, but I also like that it's working. We're getting heavyweight bangers at least.
Well, I'm so glad that we've been hanging out for so long because I kind of knew you would pick this one, and that's why I have this video clip to share on why it was such a good pump. Dude, that was the last bit of the fight. I'm going to be honest. Usually heavyweights are making silent agreements, taking big gulps of air and going, hey, we both made it to the finish line together. Let's just chill out. No, both those guys was throwing. They were throwing the whole time. Very, very active fight. I was totally entertained. I'm not going to shy away or change my story now. I've been a Vitor supporter since the jump. I called him Vitor 2.0. Mm-hmm. He looks that. Hopefully he's not on any extra substances. But dude can throw. He can throw fast for his size. Asplin, man, he's so like, yeah, go ahead.
So I was going to say it's a very interesting like dynamic, that specific fight. I think Asplin won. I think he won. He dropped Vitor like 4 times, like dropped him. But it's this weird thing where Asplin was being like very, very accurate. He was hitting him on the chin. Vitor was being less accurate, but ripping, right? Tearing his face up, blood, all this stuff. So just by optics, right? And it's like, Asplin didn't get robbed, right? I think Petrino won. That's a fair call, especially when you look at it. Like if you're just a judge and you're seeing this guy's eyes swelling up, blood everywhere, you're definitely going, oh, the other guy's winning the fight, even though, getting wobbled on the chin 4 times, that's impressive. And it's impressive that Petrino was able to still get up and fight.
I agree with you. And I think this is where we can get into the minutia of the verbiage of the rules and how the judges are supposed to partake.
Yeah, what is damage?
Right. It's damage first. There is no knockdown scoring. It's not boxing. If it was, yeah, Asplin's cleaning up those rounds would be gone by a country mile. But that's not the definition of how MMA is written and to be deciphered. So when you look at damage per round, Vitor takes it that way. And
you know what? You convinced me. You converted me and you convinced me when you said it that way. Because you're right. It's not boxing. It's scored on damage. And even dropping a guy, whatever, more damage was done.
Well, there we go. Well, Folks, we told you guys we were going to have a special guest, and he just arrived. So it's our time to pivot from this segment, and I get to introduce a friend of mine, a killer, Mr. Tony Cortez, entering the chat. Mr. Cortez, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, good. How are you guys doing?
Very, very good. And before we get to talking, man, I gotta drop some clips of your recent action, folks. If you weren't catching Tony most recent body of work, he gave you guys 2 recent chances. He gave you one just this past Thursday, and 2 weeks before that on another Thursday. We'll get into all of that good stuff in a second, but let's drop some of your handiwork.
You switch stances a lot, but he seems to be. I mean, we watched him hit 10 minutes of pads today in the warm-up room from a southpaw stance.
But he runs into a spinning elbow.
Runs into that, definitely wrong. Oh, another elbow.
Beautiful.
LB he can't get elbow crazy.
Yeah, you know, I'm very impressed with this fight thus far. It's just halfway through.
Cruz Garcia showing some blood from the mouth after that elbow as he attacks the body.
Here comes Tony, Terminator style, moving forward, controlling the lead hand, looking for that elbow.
Chipping left elbow.
Here's another one.
Another one. Yep. This is awesome. Gotta love a good elbow.
Yeah.
Fighter.
Oh, nice
right.
hook. Oh, the left.
I think he's out on his feet.
Yeah. Cruz is hurting right now. Tony's got him on.
Holy moly.
Wow. What a fight.
What a fight indeed it was. I was there live getting to see you do your thing, bro. It was such a pleasure. The crowd was going nuts, and that was 2.5 weeks ago at this point, and we'll get into the most recent stuff you're doing. But bro, I gotta ask, man, what got you deciding, hey, I just whooped ass, I'm gonna whoop ass again in 2 weeks time? Everybody's asking that quick turnaround question, and I gotta do it too.
I would say like, I mean, I can make the weight, so I was like, man, I want to go again, and you know, they offered me another fight. You know, it helps me out financially, so I guess that's what that's what made me want to fight.
It's a good reason.
That's a very solid reason. Now, I gotta ask, in that fight, we didn't get to see it in that clip because that was just you working and closing the show. But your opponent was also undefeated, I believe, also 5-0. You were 5-0 at the time. It was a pretty solid up and coming contender, almost eliminator of who should be getting attention from my field of view. Now, earlier in the fight, you weren't your usual self, I would say, because you usually blasting people early and messing them up. And he was kind of getting a couple things in. He threw a couple taunts. I want to ask you, do you think about those taunts when the guy's taunting you? Does that ignite you at all, or do you ignore it?
I ignore it. I'm just like, oh, that was good, but you know, my moment's gonna come real soon.
Yeah, it did. Your moment ended the show, so I guess you could have the 2 seconds of fun while it went the other way. Now, Tony, I know me and you got to talk a lot, but I didn't get to introduce you to my co-host, Zac Pauga here. You guys have had like a little bit of similar of a story. He went 5-0. I think he went a little further than that in the regional scene before getting called up to the UFC. So I just wanted to introduce you guys real quick.
How you doing, brother? Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And dude, I just want to tell you, like, what you've got going right now is so impressive. 7-0, 7 finishes. Like I was just telling Rob, I'm on mine. I've had 19 pro fights, 6 finishes. Like I'm doing everything I can to get my finish rate up. And being at 100% finish rate, dude, that's so impressive. Like when you go into a fight, are you thinking I'm finishing this guy no matter what? Like, are you hunting finishes? Like what's your thought process when you're going into these fights?
I would say I just I believe in my coach, and my coach always tells me, that I have a lot of power, and once I land a good shot, that's the end of the fight. And I think that 15 minutes is a long time to be able to land that big shot and hurt that person and then, put them away. I think 15 minutes is just a long fight. And a lot of times in training, like we'll be going for maybe an hour. And I feel like I landed like a lot of shots that I could have just, with the little gloves might have put somebody out.
Did you come from a boxing background? Are you?
No,
Oh,
I didn't. I started wrestling. I started MMA training when I was 10, and then I started full wrestling, high school wrestling at 13, and I didn't start like boxing or training boxing at all till I was about like 21, 22.
well, I just transitioned to boxing into 3-minute rounds, and legit 5-minute rounds are a long time. Like I didn't realize because I started with MMA as well. Just the round, that's all I knew. And then went into boxing, and the first round's over. I'm like, that's it. Like we're done. We're done with it, you know?
Yeah, I understand. But during this time, like these last like maybe 2 years, I've been doing a lot of boxing rounds, and like it is a shorter time span, shorter rounds. But I will say I get a lot more tired boxing
You got to
than
press. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
sprint. It's a sprint instead of a distance.
Yeah, so I get more tired boxing in those rounds than I do like sparring MMA, because there's a lot more like I feel like figuring out the person and all this stuff. And when you go to a boxing gym, they're just trying to fucking take your head off from the
Yeah,
beginning.
they just fight. That's all. They don't spoil their fight. That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Fuck, good luck.
All right, so I showed the clip from February 26th, if my memory is correct. I think that was the
Hmm.
date. We showed your action there. I'm going to show your most recent action from just a couple days ago. But I want to ask, the quick turnaround for some guys, they say it's harder. It doesn't feel as good. I know you said you were confident you could make the weight, which is very important. Did you feel as good in this fight as you did for the other one?
I mean, honestly, when they called me, bro, I was having a good time. I'll just say that, and then I I was like, screw it, let's do it. But no, I guess my answer is no. I didn't feel as good, but I mean, in the fight, I felt good.
Well, there we go. Because I'm about to show the clip, and if you could have lied, because we'll see by your performance, it didn't look like you weren't feeling any worse or anything like that. I had to extend the clip to show your opponent just laying there like, shit. You put a heavy body attack, literally deflated him. It was like watching someone stab some tires and just watching the car settle down to a lower level where he couldn't hang with you anymore. Was that your game plan or something you figured out in the middle of the match? Because I know you like to attack the body, but that one seemed like you figured something out from my point of view.
Yeah, so when I went into the corner going into the second round, my coach just told me like, get that body shot. He's like, he looks tired already. He's like, he's got a strong head. He's like, but that body, he's gonna go down. I was like, all right, yes sir, let's go.
Nice. Hey, the ability to listen to your corner between rounds is huge. That's a massive thing. Now, just picking up from the music in there, it's talking about pressure. I know Zach kind of asked this question in its own way, but 7-0. Obviously, you want to stay undefeated. The finishing rate. Are these things super important to you, or is it just getting to the next level, perhaps, and getting that big payday? What's more like on your mind?
I like finishing people. I want to show that, like the people that I'm fighting on the regional circuit, they're not on my level, and that I should be up there, fighting the best guys, fighting the people at the top. And I think I'm doing a good job of showing that.
That's what's up. We got a comment here saying your recent performances were amazing, Tony. I appreciate your talents and efforts so much. There you go, man. People loving what you're doing. It's very enjoyable to watch. everybody talks about wanting to see people, finish other people, and that's the entertainment part of the sport. Man, Zach, do you got any questions before I throw more of my stuff out?
No questions. Really. I just want to say, like, in you don't need any advice from me, man. You seem like you know what's going on. Like, you got good coaches and a good team. But what you did doing that, taking a fight on short notice, however much it was, 2 weeks, 1 week, bouncing back and going in and finishing a guy, like that's all promoters are scumbags, but that's what promoters want. That's what they love, dude. I promise you, Combate right now is in love with you when they know that they have a guy that they can call and show up in 10 days and knock somebody out. Like that's going to accelerate your career so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I already know Combate love you. I love Combate. They love you. I know it's been a thing, man. You jumping from 5-0 to 7-0 in just a couple of weeks is a huge accomplishment in this game. Now, are you gonna take some time off because you totally deserve it?
I mean, ideally, I would love to fight again in 2 weeks, but I think I gotta let my body rest a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm used to like high school wrestling. Like we were wrestling freaking, I don't know, maybe like 8 matches every week. So, I mean, I think I'm pretty used to just continuously competing every weekend, and I wish I could do that in fighting. I wish every fighter would do that. I think that that would make the sport a lot more fun to watch.
You know what? I don't disagree with you at all. One last question before I let you go, my dude, is you had a solid support system. I don't know if your friends and family, girlfriend, all get to watch your other fights most recently, but how was that? Because you had a strong support group there. Like, can you feel the difference when you have your people there for you versus maybe when they can't attend?
Yeah, I mean, I love it when my family's there, man. I love that part. I love hanging out with them. That's really who I do it for is my family, but most importantly, I love having my fiance there. Like just looking at her in my corner is just so it's motivating. Since it's even like inspiring because she's a very strong girl, and she pushes me really hard to keep going, and she supports me so much, and I think I look at her and I'm like, I can't lose. I gotta finish this dude.
That's what's up, dude. That is solid reasoning, and man, you got a lot of positive reasons to do so. But that right there, yeah, nobody wants to lose in front of their woman. Like that's like guy code, right? Like this
Yeah.
cannot be done. Dude, got it, man. Is Now obviously you're making a smart choice and healing up or whatever. Um, is there anything you want to say or share to the world while we got your time?
Um. No, but I'm fighting in 2 months. I think I'm gonna fight for Tachi Palace, May 16th, and I'm dropping down to 145, and I'm gonna start fighting at that weight from now on.
My man, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something I wanted to bring up. But dude, you're in good shape. So why would I be like, hey, you want to change weight classes? You're knocking people out, doing your thing. Let's change something. But since you're already doing it, that's cool. I'm glad you got something on the horizon to keep focused on. I was just about to ask that the 45 thing, the UFC usually, and I'm just throwing out that name because that's where everybody's targeting. They often encourage guys to move down a weight as they move in. Is this something you've been thinking about preparing, or is this like you setting yourself up just in case you get that call?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like me and my management team are kind of already like in talks with them, and they already said that they want me at 145. And most of my fights are at 145. I'm not a big dude, and like these two guys that I just fought were bigger than me, and the last guy I fought is a 45er, and he was bigger than me. So I was like, for 155, these guys are a little too big. Not saying like that I can't like do good at that weight class, but I think 145, my power will come. My power will transfer over to that weight class, and I think that I'll be able to finish guys a lot faster at 145.
Man, that's a promise and a threat to the whole division right there. Bro, you haven't even been out of the second round. You want to do it faster? Like, he's like, yeah, I don't want to do the second round shit anymore. I want to get it done in the first.
Nah.
I love it, bro. I love your energy. I always have. Dude, well, good luck and rest well. Enjoy this small period of rest that you get to have before you ramp up and get into camp. Mr. Pauga, you got anything to say before we split up from Tony?
No, yeah, just that it sounds like you know what you're doing. It sounds like you got a good business head on your shoulders. The 145 is probably the right call, mainly because when you get to the UFC, it's usually super short notice. So if you're ready to make 145, that means you can easily take a 155 fight, right? If you're waiting around to make 155, that means your short notice calls a 170 fight, right? And that's a huge jump. So I think that it's things like it seems like you know what you're doing. It seems like you got it all figured out.
Heck yeah. No, 170. We have a guy at our gym, Meng Ding, the A1 combat champion. I would not want to fight him. So 145 it is.
Respect to that, dude. Well, hey, Mr. Cortez, it's been a pleasure getting to watch you go from I caught up with you when you were 2-0, going for your 3-0 bout, and now we're here not that long removed, and you're 7-0, my bro. Gonna be going for 8-0, like you said, in just a 2 months' time. You know I'll be watching you then. I just want to continue sending you the best and blessings, and catch up with you soon, my dude. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Nice meeting you, Zach.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Have a good one.
Later. Well, there it is, folks. Mr. Tony Cortez. If you guys don't know him, now you do know him. I shared some of his most recent fights. All of his fights are like that. Like I said, he hasn't been out of the second round. He just wrecks fools. And I think what he just said, going down to 145, the formula is going to continue. I think there's going to be a lot more finishes, club and subs, and full-blown knockouts are coming his way. All right, let's get to, which we don't spend a lot of time doing. We don't spend a lot of time on this. We actually spend the bare minimum amount of time on this. Making a UFC prediction. We don't do prediction stuff. Go watch the 10,000 other shows that do. God bless them. But I'm going to pull up the card here so we just have a context of what the hell we're talking about. UFC London-ish. UFC Fight Night in London. It's not a UFC London because it's a fight night, so I'm just calling it London-ish. These are the people on the card. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be at a different time. They finally bent the knee and decided it's smart to, not piss off the local populace of where you're holding the show. So for us, we'll have to make that adjustment, and that's cool. But we're just going to tackle the main event, Evil versus Murphy. My man, what you thinking?
I said this when they announced this, and it could shake up the standings if Murphy wins, but I don't see him winning. He's obviously insanely talented and very good, but I haven't seen any reason why Mosfar doesn't just do what he does to every single other person to Murphy, right? He's just going to hold him down for 5 rounds. And maybe he subs him, but I think that he's probably just going to wrestle him and hold him down. And it may not be that of it exciting as a win, but I have a feeling it's going to be dominant.
There it is, folks. Drop your comments. Jump in here. What are you predicting for this event?
Let me know if you're excited for this event. Other than this main fight, I think it's going to be good, but I'm just like. I'm cool. I want to see MVP fight, but he's just fighting an unranked dude. This card's just weird to me. This card's weird to me.
When we look it up, yeah. I mean, can I? All right. I wanted to try to soften this, but everybody knows. If you don't know, now you're gonna find out. I don't give a two crap about the UK, nor its people, nor its culture, nor anything about it. I think the place is a shithole. But there's a fighter that I'm excited to see and that's Mr. Duncan, Christian Leroy Duncan.
yeah.
That is, he kind of. I mean, MVP's cool, but I'm not dogging him. I wish there wasn't a but there. MVP's cool, comma, CLD is kind of my only person from that nation that I'm like, yeah, that's who I want to see. So that's where my hope is. Yeah, folks, drop your comments. Who are you?
And listen,
excited
shout out
not
to
see?
Austin Lane. Shout out to Austin Lane. I don't know if you guys know this. If you're an American and you go fight in London, London, England, the UK takes 20% of your money off the top, right? You have to pay their London taxes, and you don't get to use their healthcare or their education system. You go back home and you have to pay your American taxes too. You make 20% less money as an American fighting in the UK.
That is a garbage ass deal. Thank you for sharing that with us. That is terrible. I don't think Austin Lane is at that point of his career where he can say no to anything.
No.
So that's old balls against the wall tactic there by the UFC, getting the most juice, most squeeze for the juice, whatever the fucking expression is. I just fumbled it, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so UFC stuff, we did our thing, we knocked it out. But
I interrupted you. We didn't get your pick. We didn't get your pick for the main event.
Oh, my pick for the main event is same as yours,
Right.
as often happens on our podcast. We're very like-minded. Yeah, because history has kind of shown that again and again and again. Striker versus grappler, elite grappler beats super elite world striker. And that's just how it works, man. I didn't make it up. Ask the fight gods why that goes that way. But I do want to take this moment to give a man his moment, somebody who gave us a lot of fights, gave us a lot of cool stuff. Didn't always go his way, went his way this time. Happy trails to you, your boy, Eric Anders. Just quick clip here. It's a couple parts to that. One, very rarely do you get to go out with a dub. Now, pro wrestling scripts it. So your last rodeo is an L. It's like tradition in pro wrestling, and that's their thing. But weirdly, naturally, most often, with a few shiny exceptions, you lose on the way out here in MMA. And I'm just happy for him, one. But the words he used in that end of his speech right there of the I don't got the balls for this anymore, which I'm sure is just him being self-deprecating, because he clearly has balls. We know Eric Anders has balls. The thing is, like, a fighter becoming self-aware that they're not for it anymore. My man, like, have you seen fighters discover that, like, in training, or like seen some of your partners kind of go through that process?
No, yeah, and first off, the big shout out to Eric Anders. Big shout out. He's had a great, crazy long career, right? He fought Lyoto Machida. Like, he's had an insane career. And they always, my football career gets made a big people make a big deal out of, like, my football career. Dude, Eric Anders was a national champion. He played for Alabama. Like, that dude was a football star, is bigger football star than I was. But to your question, to your point, I have even more respect for Anders for doing it this way, because everyone that wants to retire, like, fights don't retire you. Camp retires you. Fighting is the fun part. People don't want to go through camp, and they don't want to do fight camp anymore. So what usually happens, dudes last 3-4 fights, they just don't train for them. They just phone in fight camp. Oh, I'm sore this week. Oh, I'm old. We can't spar. Oh, we'll spar, but no wrestling. They just have shitty fight camps and then go and get beat up in the fights. And then they oh, I can't do it anymore. All this. He did a camp. He got his win, and he said, "Not doing that again, guys." Like, and respect to that.
Big respect to that. To your previous question asking about fights on the card people are looking forward to, Azur jumps in with Keita missed weight big time last time he was supposed to go in and fight. They're giving him another chance. So hopefully we get to see him because the dude is talented. Hopefully he doesn't botch it on the scales like he did last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's talented. Definitely somebody to watch on this upcoming card. Yeah, and yeah, man, I've heard it that way too, where people realize in the training or in the camp they're done with it, so to speak. But some guys lie to themselves and do what you said, exactly what you said, where they start taking pieces out of the camp. They start cherry picking, like and then, like you said, they hang around the game too long, kind of get eliminated instead of choosing to go when they could. So also, I just want to talk on a personal level. Once upon a time, racing and whatnot, leaving the sport, to call yourself out, to tell yourself, no, like it's not because of something else, but to you say, now this is my time. That takes a lot of balls, no matter what your sport is. I don't care if you're heavy into pickleball. When you say, nah, I got other things in life to go try and do, big respect to Anders for knowing when it was that time to do so.
Any form of high performance takes sacrifice, right? I don't care if you're the number one Pokemon card player in the world, right? Any high performance takes sacrifice, and it's a mature, like, whole individual that can say, I'm not willing to sacrifice for this anymore. These things that I've been sacrificing mean more to me now than getting my hand raised, and that's beautiful. I wish they would have made a bigger deal out of that.
Definitely, dude. And shout out to Raf. Appreciate you, bro. And Azur and Nurse Green Eyes and everybody else who's dropped comments. Folks, drop your comments. Talk with us, whatever we're talking about. Even make some suggestions of something you want us to talk about, as we're going to keep moving on through the other realms of combat sport. There's some good stuff happening going on here, and I'm not going to try to let any of it slide. I'm going to ask you first, did you get to watch the One Championship on Friday night?
I only watched one fight. I watched Ben Wallace's fight because we just fought on the Dirty Boxing card together. That was the only one that I watched.
Fair enough. Well, I wish.
Oh, and I watched Ryu, Sua Black and Ryu, the Hiyu, I think it was his name.
Yeah.
Before it, yes.
Okay, great. So I have some clips to share, and I'm not sure which one is which, so I'm just gonna work it out and see what happens.
Stationary, so we can launch some of those waves.
Yo, I don't know if you guys caught all that, but that dude went through the complete sampler of body killing techniques. Spinning back kick into body flurry, into supersonic knee up your gut. And I'm so in love with this. Like, turn up your sound, lean into it, wait for the knee one. You can like hear it, even though there wasn't like a mic set.
Stationary, so we can launch some of those waves.
I hope you did that tunk. That was so nasty. If you guys don't know Sua Black is a legit dude. Like, he's a tough son of a gun. That's why he was there for a third time to get dropped. Most people, if you get dropped by the body, they're not coming back. If you drop them a second time from the body, they're super not coming back. It took a cannon of a knee on that one. That was so good. I was yelling at the TV. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so excited for that one. But there was some other stuff.
So yeah. So the reason I watched that, I specifically watched one because Sua Black is my homie, dude. He's my homie specific. I met him one time, but it was in Thailand. He took care of me. He's a great dude. So I tune into all his fights. But also, you specifically know that I'm so into this Japanese like kickboxing resurgence. I love these Japanese fighters. So I was watching that fight for sure, and it was awesome. I feel bad for Sua Black. He's a good dude. He's a good fighter too. He's a really good fighter. But that was nasty.
That was nasty. That was super nasty. And you know, that's the fight game, right? Like you hammer the nail, you don't get to choose, it just happens. All right, there's some other good ones that happen too. Oh, this one is really impressive to me because it's kind of old school. You don't really see it anymore. I miss it. Please come back. That would be nice. And it's because the ladies were making it happen.
Every single one of those strikes landed.
That was fast because that's how fast it happened. We'll do it again.
Every single one of those strikes landed.
Old fashioned ground and pound knockout through the guard. Now, I know some people are going to go, well, then you don't know how to use the guard. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, fight guru. Okay. That's still fucking cool and great to see. And for a lady to be generating that kind of pop, get it right there on the jaw. Nice.
And you know, it's so funny. So I saw the highlight. I didn't watch that fight live, but I saw the highlight. And I was just talking to my jiu-jitsu coach on Saturday night. We were watching the fights together. Obviously, I don't do that much jiu-jitsu anymore. But I was just talking about how like ground and pound has kind of disappeared. Like legitimate, significant ground and pound. You definitely don't see KOs like that anymore. And just effective ground and pound in general has kind of disappeared from the UFC, where it used to be like the business. That used to be what you were trying to do on the ground.
Absolutely. It's weird how these two things line up together, right? It's evaporated, yet damage is the highest scoring criteria. Mm-hmm. So you get a lot of periods of time where the commentators on all kinds of fights in the UFC are yelling or commenting, oh, there's not a lot of damage. I mean, there's a lot of control, not a lot of damage. But the thing that would be it has evaporated and gone borderline extinct. Very interesting. Like a lot of things in fighting, what goes around comes around. What's uncool comes cool again. Hopefully that's the case with this. But here's one highlight. There's so many puns here, I can't stop myself. But one championship I love watching. It hurts my guts trying to understand what their business model is or what their like attempt at business and or producing a product to the world to consume. They swing and a miss. And what I'm getting at is one of their best people for 4-ounce Muay Thai, John Lineker, they decide to put him in a kickboxing bout, a weight class up. The guy's already a smaller, stout guy. He's a powerhouse, sure, but that makes more sense when you're in the 4-ounce gloves. But they move him up, make extra padding, and take away some of his weapons. It makes no sense, and this is what happens.
Both of these guys, you can see the big hurdle and a big left hook on him. Yeah, very into it all, and it's going to be really important. Oh! Ooh, calf kick stops him. Just like that, the way that he was setting that up, going to the body, changing back down to downstairs. Oh, John Lineker can't answer.
Bro, the sound on them kicks.
Oh yeah, dude. And so you're talking about Lineker as a small good Muay Thai guy, right? He was an MMA fighter. He came from the UFC. And so that was Ben Willis, right? That was the dude who just fought on the last 30 boxing card I was on. Like, I don't know if people fight, like fighting is fighting. Yes, it's fighting. But being a kickboxer and being a Muay Thai fighter and being an MMA fighter are so different when you're talking about the guys that are the best at them. When you're talking about guys like Ben Willis, who's only a kickboxer, right? He came in and boxed against an influencer on my card and beat him up. But like, dude, being an MMA fighter, if you can't block, you're not training your whole life to block those calf kicks, right? That he was eating him live with. And then a good trained kickboxer, oh, you don't know how to block a calf kick? This is going to be a short fight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's another. I can keep going, but we got other things to talk about. But one championship is basically dismantled their MMA program. And
well, dude, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even I don't know if we haven't have enough time. My homie Vanilla Thunder just fought on them a month ago, subbed the guy in a minute, but they don't do 50K for every win, every finish anymore. It's like he was waiting for his 50K. Nope, sorry, you just get your 12 and 12 or whatever. Like I want them to do well, and they put on a good show. That's the big thing. They put on a good show. I want them to do well. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what their business plan is. I don't know who they're marketing to. So I do now. They're marketing to kickboxing fans. But
yeah, let's market to the sport that already had its moment and then fell.
It already died.
It already died out. That's great job, guys. And I agree with you wholehearted. The actual fighters, the actual fights themselves, great. Watch one. Folks, every week I'm telling you, watch shit. Watch one. Watch it. It's good. But how the company is putting it together to be served, mismanagement to the fullest.
And we say this every single week. We say this every single week. But now we're saying about something else. Like what you say you like, as the casual fan, right? I'm talking to you. I like you. I love you. What you say you like, right, is happening in Thailand and Japan, right? These Thai fighters, these Japanese fighters, Ryzen, they're just thrown down. Nobody's holding anybody down for 5 rounds in one, especially not in kickboxing matches. But in Ryzen, they're not holding dudes down. They're kicking their heads off when they take them down. What you want is happening somewhere, It's happening somewhere.
And for me, who just wants violence, and for some reason, I wasn't a Just Bleed fan in the Just Bleed era, but now I've been a fan for so long, I've gone full circle and I've become that somehow. BKFC. There's something for everybody, and this is my something for everybody. This card had a bunch of people that I don't know. It was in the UK. Yeah, usually that sucks, but it didn't suck this time. This time, there was 11 finishes. I repeat, 11 finishes out of I believe it was a 13 fight card. That is an insane finish rate, dude. And I'm just gonna say I got a couple clips for you as well. But that's the beautiful part of BKFC. It's like old school MMA where you don't have to know anybody. The fights are just gonna hit. People are gonna get beat up. There will be blood. And like I said, I got a couple clips for you. So here it is. I think. Here we go.
Lands from Saunders. Left hook, double left hand. This is slick from Saunders on the volume. Another right hand and knockdown number 3.
I mean, Kanabe's just standing in front of him in the winging shots. He's got to...
And the blood, the action and the blood. Here's one more I got for you. I think. Wait, I'm bad at this, but I'm gonna get better. I swear. Eventually,
you're doing great.
Shoot. Well, until I find it, the point is the fight game. Go ahead, dude. Go for it.
So I'm gonna counter you just a little bit. Just a little bit. BKFC is cool. BKFC is cool. People should watch it. It's very cool. The one thing that I don't like about it, and the one thing specifically why I like waffle back and forth on if I would do it, is a lot of these stoppages, right, are doctor stoppages. A lot of them are from the cuts, right? Like because of the cuts over the eyes and everything, the doc waves it off. And I hate that. I hate that. And I'm like, we got to have different rules. We can't have the same rules for gloved fights that we do for BKFC fights. A cut cannot stop the fight when we are specifically cutting each other. We're taking the protection from cutting away.
Well, this is fun. We finally have some back and forth. As you know, people post-fight, and I've known some people post-fight, and the actual damage accrued by these fighters, by these other elite fighters, they have to protect them somehow because these guys and girls,
they get messed up, dude. They get messed up bad.
Okay,
bad. Like
we agree on that. All right, so here's one that's not the doctor wasn't saving nobody.
And wide open to start this welterweight fight. There's the right hand through from Lilly. Another right hand.
And
right hand, and that drops Yannick Van Dinter.
Van Dinter throwing with full power the entire time. But man, when you do that,
Now, the ref was in between the actual knockout shot, but you can see the pain the guy is going through on the ground. He's like checking his teeth. He's trying to make sure he still got them all. He's like, he's not even worried about getting up. And that is the magic of BKFC, where it's just violence. Some guys are good, some guys aren't, but it's fights. It's real fights. There's not, sometimes the UFC, a lot of times in the UFC, it gets to be these really awesome sparring matches. There's no fire. There's no like, I want to kill you going on. And that's why I love the BKFC.
Well, and I was talking about it with Tony, right? The magic of BKFC, the magic is that it's 2-minute rounds, right? Nobody's gassing. Nobody's gassing in two. Some guys do because they're just like crackheads off from the trailer park, but not those guys. The real fighters on the main card, nobody's gassing. Everyone is slugging it out, and they don't have time to dance, right? You got 2 minutes to throw down. That is a cool part of it.
That is the very cool part of it. Now, getting into some other stuff as we're near the end of our show. Some big news dropped recently. And here it is, right? Diaz versus Perry, big effing deal. Another, and when I say big effing deal, I'm talking about the deals, like the actual deals behind it. Whether people want to go, oh, nostalgia, or whatever hating they want to throw on the show, like, dude, this is a big actual deal because Mike Perry, if you forgot, is the face of the previous organization we were just talking about. He's literally the face of bare knuckle fighting and runs his own very awesome league where brother Zac gets to fight with dirty boxing. So Mike Perry's all over the place in a good way. Mike Perry is now back to MMA against Nate on a card that is slowly but surely, with every announcement going, fuck yeah, I want to watch that. I know those guys. I want to see that. And that is something, no matter what people want to say about, oh, these fighters are old. Oh, it's not in the UFC. Who gives a fuck what the label on the mat is? I don't. But when you have a card where every single person on the card, you know their name, and you go, yeah, I want to see them fight. There's not a single person on this planet, if you like fighting at all, that doesn't want to see Nate fight. And if you've been paying attention to bare knuckle or dirty boxing or anything, you like Mike Perry. Mike Perry found his home in his bare knuckle world. Yeah, whatever his record was in the UFC before he left 7 of his 10 last fights, something like that, he's a loser. Who cares? He's a killer in bare knuckle. So now you got these guys who are like-minded, total scrappers, totally tough, totally game, gonna be facing off. Like, this is another huge signing, and I'm sure, because Nate doesn't do anything for cheap no more, that they're getting paid, and so is Perry. So, my man, what are you thinking?
So there's so much there. I'm sure they're getting paid. It's like everything we've said about this card from the beginning. It's good for MMA. This is good for MMA. Guys getting paid, competition for the UFC. Like, truly, with the names, with just throwing these names on this platform, right, on Netflix, like, this is probably going to break Netflix again. This is probably going to be the most watched MMA card ever, like in the history of MMA. There's probably going to be more people that watch this card because of the names. I'm not like, if we want to break it down, I think Mike Perry's going to smoke Nate Diaz. Like, I think the fight is not going to be competitive. I think Mike's going to kind of wreck him, but people are going to tune in. That's all that matters. After this thing, MVP MMA or Netflix MMA, whatever they're calling it, whoever the bean counters are, whether it's Netflix or MMA, whatever, or MVP, whoever the bean counters are, they're going to go, we got a lot of beans. Like, we got something to do. Let's make this roll, which is good.
Very good. We've talked about it before, talked about it again. The competition, when services are being bid for, when there's multiple promotions bidding for services, that's how you get fighter pay to rise. And I'm glad to see it support the cause. I just know you're talking about viewership. This is almost too good to be true. This is the best thing that could have been happening to the sport, and nobody like really saw it come. Nobody saw it coming from Jake Paul.
This is what the GFL was supposed to be. This is what the GFL was supposed to be.
It was. Now, talking about things that maybe a little bit outside of the total MMA spectrum, just a little bit real quick. I want to bring up somebody who let the world see fights. I want to talk about before there was Netflix. Before there was Netflix, there was ABC's Wide World of Sports. And there was a promoter, pretty good one too. His name was Bob Arum. And he's still around. And his top-ranked boxing, unfortunately, was a little bit homeless the past 6 to 8 months. But they have a new deal. They recently just announced a new deal, and I'm really, really, really happy about it. I do not have the slide prepared. Oh, well, Rob, you fumbled one. But anyways, the point is they're signed up with DAZN, and I just want to talk about this just to give, the legend credit, moving and partnering up with DAZN and boxing and boxers and all this other stuff that we love so much. This is good. And I just want to give this man credit. I think he's like 84 years old. Maybe he's 83. Whatevers. You guys are falling asleep and you're freaking 25. This dude is 80-something, still pushing the rock up the hill, still making this happen, still making boxing happen. And to see Top Rank finally get a legit home, because it's a legitimate promotion with a lot of talent. I'm happy for it. And this is just a little random thing. Just want to throw that. I don't know if you saw this news.
I didn't see this. Well, and isn't Matchroom on DAZN as well?
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
it is.
That's interesting. So DAZN is becoming a little boxing hub. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And they also, DAZN being they, also do the Golden Boy stuff. So
yeah.
I don't make $2 from DAZN, but if you're into boxing, it's a fair place to get a subscription because you're going to get all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, Ta-da, Say Less. All right. What's up?
No, I was just gonna just rambling more. I remember I've said this before. I love boxing as a fan. I'm a casual fan of boxing, but remember when all the big shows used to be on HBO and Showtime, right? The big fights, and we'd all have to this was back in the day. You had that one dude with the pirated cable box, and everyone had to go over to his place to watch it because we weren't getting no one had HBO subscriptions, not at least where I was living,
No, yeah, that's the case. That's the case. I may or may not have been that guy. And in college, I may or may not have been charging $5 at the door. But that's a different time for a different story for a different time. But before we go into the closing thoughts, because I have a few closing thoughts before I go away. I did want to revisit something that happened because it was significant. And that something was, we talk about this all the time. People are aware of it. The UFC formula. What is the UFC formula? Take name that you know, exchange it for a name you don't know, and ta-da. So star power exchange. That's what I'm talking about. And this weekend was the most prime example. Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. I believe that's how the Argentinians pronounce it. I was calling Vallejos. Sorry, brah.
I was just about to correct you.
Yeah, so they say it different. But anyways, the point is that we knew what was coming, and it showed up just like that and just like this. That was the young lion killing the old lion for the territory. And now Emmett, 3 of his 7 losses in a row, age 41, as a striker, also smaller weight class. I don't want to see him get hurt anymore. I don't. I hope he's made enough money. I hope he's good within himself, as something we talked about earlier in the show, being okay with yourself to let a sport go when it's time to. And I just don't want to see him get murdered like that because I don't think he's coming back. He's not offering anything new, and that was brutal. That was brutal as shit.
Well, there's guys that can fight to their old, right? There's 41 doesn't have to be a death sentence, right? But it's It's a type of fighting. It's a style of fighting, right? In MMA, you're Randy Couture's, right? You're clinchy, grapply, grippy fighters. That's how you win. If you're a striker, you got to be Floyd Mayweather. Fight till you're 50, dodging shots. You can't be a brawler, especially not at 145. You can't brawl at 41 years old. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And like you said, he hasn't shown any new wrinkles. He hasn't even said this is what we were getting on for him last week about not even saying I'm working on and learning new things. He was saying he's doing the old things better than ever, and that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good because the UFC is not holding no quarters for what you've done in the past. They don't care. They're gonna serve you up. They've been doing it. They're serving people up, and they're getting that chain reaction just like we figured. Now, here's something totally random. This is just for funs. I sent this to you in a DM. I hope lots of people seen this traveling social media. But this is just funny and maybe worth sharing with your friends.
Pelea antes de empezar.
When you do everything right, but it goes wrong, man. Like I don't.
I've said this before. I've said this before. I avoid doing anything wacky in case I don't jump on it after I win. I'm not doing backflips or back handsprings before my fight because stuff like that happens. Stuff happens, and when you don't want to happen. 2 seconds before you're supposed to fight somebody for money,
Yeah, exactly. Shit in life happens, and you don't want it 2 seconds before you fight for money. Put that on a shirt, because I'm blanking his Huggy Bear. I'm blanking his Chris Barnett. He learned the hard way, jumping around, goofing off, blow out something in his leg. I don't know if his knee, ankle, whatever, and then now you're just toast. Not a good way to go out. My man, we talked about a lot of things as usual. I want to one more time shout out to Tony Cortez joining us early in the show. Folks, if you missed it, just skip ahead like half an hour ahead or so. You'll see it there. But man, what any thoughts before we go our separate ways?
No, just thanks to everyone that tuned in. We were kind of waffling on whether we should do this live or not, and I think it's working out really well. Getting a lot of people watching, getting a lot of comments. So, thanks guys for being here with us.
That's it. Appreciate you guys. Same message I say before. Message us. See our handles. Hit up Zach. Hit up me. Whatever. Message our channel page at Fully Hydrated and give us stuff you want to talk about. Is there stuff inside the business side, you guys, of the game you want to know? Stuff inside the fight game Zach can help you with. Whatever. If you guys want more guests, who would you want to talk to? Put out your wish list. Maybe we can make it happen. And I'll continue, to try to bring that to you guys. Just like Zach said, you guys mean a lot to us. Appreciate it. So this is not meant for me and Zach just to talk to each other. We can do that all the time, but we enjoy sharing with you. So thank you for sharing your comments. And once again, shout out to Tony for joining us, man. Bright future. If you guys want to know somebody before they show up in the UFC, this is the guy. Go check him out. His Instagram, same spelling, just Tony Cortez. Go hit him up, find him, enjoy. And shit. It's been a good time. We'll see you next time. But in the meantime, stay fully hydrated. All right.